Welcome back, everyone. Today, we are diving into the beautiful, mind-bending epilogue of what has truly been an incredible saga. We're breaking down The Ocean Remembers the Future. You know, after all the intense battles, the closing of the rifts, and those apocalyptic storms from the main storyline, the world finally found some peace. But as you'll see, the end of that conflict was really just the spark for a massive cosmic shift. Okay, let's dive into this. The central, literally impossible mystery of this entire epilogue is this. What happens when the ocean begins to remember what hasn't happened yet? Right? We are so used to the idea of memory looking backwards. But what happens to humanity, to the whole world, when an entity as vast as the ocean suddenly starts remembering things that haven't even occurred? So, starting with Section 1, the world 40 years later. To wrap our heads around this impossible question, we first need to look at the peaceful state of the world following that dramatic finale. It's been almost 4 decades since the storms vanished and the rifts closed up. We're talking decades of unprecedented peace. Aoi, our hero, is an absolute living legend now. Yet, she lives this incredibly quiet life in a small house by the sea. She walks the shore every morning, watches the sunset every evening, almost like she's just waiting for someone. Meanwhile, Yuto has grown up. He is now one of the top scientists of his era, and he's dedicated his entire life to studying the ocean's memory. Moving on to Section 2, The Ocean Remembers the Future. It is through Yuto's absolute dedication that a paradigm-shifting discovery is made. Yuto starts noticing these impossible anomalies. And we're not talking about some random rumors here. The empirical evidence was literally stacking up. Kids were drawing events with perfect accuracy before they ever took place. Seasoned fishermen were casually predicting offshore storms weeks in advance. People were having these incredibly vivid dreams of cities that hadn't even been built yet. It was happening over and over again. For centuries, humanity operated under an old understanding. The ocean acts like a giant, watery archive, recording the past. But Yuto's data proved a completely shocking new reality. The ocean wasn't just reflecting history anymore, it was actively predicting the future. Yuto was seriously struggling to figure out the how of it all. How could water hold the future? Well, the answer came to him late one night. For the first time in 40 years, the ocean spoke directly to Yuto using a very familiar voice. It was Ren's voice, and he delivered this incredibly cryptic message. Memory and the future are closer than you think. That brings us to Section 3, the mystery of the shared dream. Because right after that cryptic message, things escalated from localized weirdness to a massive global event. The sheer scale of what happens next is just immense. People literally all over the world fall asleep and experience the exact same vision. They find themselves on this enormous shore with blindingly white sand, facing an endless sea. And there, standing on the beach, are thousands upon thousands of lost loved ones. Everyone humanity had lost, but they don't speak. They just stand there silently, looking out at the horizon, waiting. Now, Yuto looks at this global phenomenon and makes a crucial deduction. He realizes this shared dream, it isn't a flashback. That white shore doesn't even exist yet. The ocean isn't showing humanity a tragic memory of the past to mourn over. It's projecting a vision of a potential future reality. It's showing mankind a possibility. Which leads us right into Section 4, the new nature of memory, where we finally unravel the ultimate cosmological secret of the franchise. And this brilliantly illustrates what actually happened 40 years ago. When Ren sacrificed himself and merged with the ocean, he didn't just stop the storms. He fundamentally altered the very mechanics of reality and time. Memory is no longer a fading trace of the past. It is now a living, flowing connection between all moments in time. Because of Ren, the ocean feels everything that was and everything that might be. Let's look at Section 5, countless variations of reality. With this massive cosmic truth revealed, the story beautifully narrows its focus back down to the deeply personal journey of Aoi. This builds to such a deeply emotional and physical climax. Aoi is an elderly woman now, and on one perfectly calm morning, the ocean calls to her, softly, like an old friend. She walks down to the shore, and for the first time in decades, the water begins to emit this radiant glow. Aoi smiles, realizing her path is ending. She touches the water, and from the light, a silhouette emerges. It's Ren, looking just as young as the day he left. It's just so incredibly touching. Laughing through her tears, Aoi looks at the boy she lost and says, "You made me wait a very long time." And Ren, carrying the weight of the universe, but still so gentle, replies, "I'm sorry, I had to watch over an entire ocean." It completely anchors these massive cosmic events right back into pure, undeniable human emotion. Then, as they stand together, looking out at the sea, something breathtaking happens. Thousands of lights start igniting across the horizon. Aoi realizes they aren't ships. They are entirely different shores. Endless worlds are physically touching one another through the connective tissue of the water. It's like a giant puzzle coming together. And here is the pivotal point, confirmed in Ren's very next words. Every choice creates a new story, and the ocean now remembers them all. With that single line, the narrative boldly expands. We are looking at a full-blown multiverse. Think about the vast implications here for a second. The ocean is literally the ultimate archive. Safely kept within its depths are countless alternate realities, timelines where fallen heroes actually survived, worlds born from slightly different choices, entirely different historical paths. All those what-ifs that keep us up at night, they actually exist in the living memory of the sea. And finally, we arrive at Section 6, the Keepers of History. This brings us to the final scene of the franchise, perfectly blending Aoi's personal closure with the unstoppable epic scale of time. Stepping into the water, Aoi is completely enveloped by the ocean's light. She turns around one last time to look at the world of the living that's going to carry on without her. She smiles, finally peace, and softly dissolves into that radiant joining the remnant for eternity. From that intimate farewell, the perspective just radically zooms out. We literally watch centuries pass over the earth. New generations arrive on that exact same beach. They live, they laugh, they love, and somewhere deep beneath those rolling waves, Aoi and Ren watch over them, not as ghosts and not as gods, but simply as the eternal keepers of history. The saga closes out with these truly profound final words echoing from the depths. Let this sink in. The ocean remembers not because it is afraid to forget. The ocean remembers because every life is a wave.